Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Yeah, good morning, my dear aspirants, my dear students. I would like to invite Ms. Priyanka, who got All India 68th rank in the 2019 CSE Civil Service examination. I am very happy and proud to have her as my student. Priyanka, I would like to congratulate you on this occasion.
Thank
So, due to the COVID
thank you.
situation, I can't see you in person, but this provided me an opportunity to congratulate you. So, once again, congratulations, Priyanka.
Thank you, sir.
So I would like to say a few words about Priyanka. Say she is a very humble and a simple student from a simple background who had made into this 68th rank by her pure hard work, right? And she deserves such a place. Say, while correcting her answer paper in political science, they always used to say, Priyanka, you are a service material, ma. Priyanka, do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So, where the very first instance, by seeing the paper, I said that yes, so you can crack the examination. Yes, and she did, of course, right. So, the way she studied, so the way he kept her cool and calm, right. So, like she crossed the various stages. Like so, I guess last year also she went to the interview but couldn't make it. But this year she came with very flying colors, and that too the Tamil Nadu cadre, right. So that's the main thing about this AES preparation. So where one is so blessed to have a home cadre. There is nothing more better than that, right? So, and again, I congratulate her for getting into the home cadre. And so she came across the prelims, mains, and interview successfully and handled the stress and other things, right? So I thought this session would be useful for you. So where she shared her experience, like how she prepared for the prelims, how prelims is different from mains, and how he took her answer writing in mains, right? And then how she handled herself in the personality test, and also how she handled the optional paper, how she studied the optional paper, right? So I don't want to take much of your time, Priyanka, right? So Priyanka, you can share your experience with our students, ma, right? And students, so once she talks, so give her a pass. And if you have any doubts, come in the chat box. So at the end of the session, let her talk first, right? So that so she can share her experience, right? So thank you, ma. Priyanka, you can continue, Priyanka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for this opportunity, and I thank you very much for your support, sir. Without PSIR optional, I don't think I can make this much, sir. And thank you so much. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Priyanka, and I have secured All India rank 68 in my second attempt. So basically, first I will say about my background and how I made this, and then I will give you some strategy for mains, prelims, and then what are all the I want to break some myths surrounding this examination. So after that, you will ask me doubts. I will clear that. So first of all, I'm from Kadalur district, a small town, Pandruti. I completed my schooling there, and for college, I completed BE Biomedical Engineering from College of Engineering, Hindi. So, I this is not my childhood dream that I want to become an IAS. But from my childhood, I want to be a part of government because my father and mother were in government service. They are Group C officers only. So with this, they have done so many good things. So I watched those and I grown up seeing this. So I want to be part of government job. But I don't know about UPSC till my college days. Since I'm from small town, I don't know about UPSC or how can I become IAS. So I don't know. So while in third year of my college, through my seniors, I get to know about this exam. So I searched. So what are all the opportunity available in this examination? So while searching for this, I get to know that this is one job which will provide lot of opportunity to make a change we want to see in the society. And then it also, I felt that I'm very much social person, so I easily mingle with others. So I felt that this job will provide me a satisfaction throughout my lifetime if I'm part of civil services. So I blindly made myself that I am going to do this. So after that only, after final year, I searched for coaching which I'm going to take and which books I'm going to read. So I'm 2017 passed out from the college. So after that, I joined the coaching. So while in a UPSC, optional play an important role because it's for 500 mark. If you score above 300, it will definitely place you in a good service. So I want to be careful in selecting optional. So the first thing you have to do is selecting a proper optional. So what are all the things I I listed out to select an optional is that this exam we cannot think we can clear in the first attempt itself. So the optional should be of our interest. Be able to read it continuously without losing our interest for at least 2 years, 3 years. Definitely, these time is necessary for one to clear this examination. Some might clear in the first attempt, but not everyone. So I am careful enough that this should be an interesting subject so that I will sustain this for 2 to 3 years. So first thing is that. And the second thing I thought is that it should overlap with the GS so that it can save my time. So in that case, PSIR optional is the one thing which entirely covered GS2, and also it helped me in writing essays. And it also helped me in GS2 history part, some history part, freedom struggle, and even in society, it's very helpful. And even in GS4 for thinkers part, that is ethics part, it's very helpful. In my case, PSIR optional, I say it's my backbone. So that I faced the essay and GS2 and ethics with very much confidence. And the third thing I looked for is that guidance. Since I am from engineering background, and that engineering be biomedical, so biomedical is not an optional subject in UPSC. So I opted for some art subjects. So I choose political science because there is good guidance in Chennai from Kamaraj sir. I heard from my seniors, so many suggested that. So I took that. And the final thing is that it is a current affairs based optional paper. So I'm very much interested in reading newspaper. So these four things I kept in my mind and I selected this optional. So in my first attempt, though I couldn't make into finalist, I scored a decent mark, that is 271 in my PSIR optional, because I am very much interested and it is current affairs based. And the third thing is best guidance I got. So this played me an important role. So in my second attempt, I am very confident that I will score 270, but I have to add something so that I can cross 300. So in that case, sir helped me a lot. This time the test series is very much helpful and the content he have given is very awesome. So it added very much value addition to my preparation. So these things you keep in mind while choosing optional. So in my first attempt, I cleared the prelims with ease. I know that I crossed the cutoff. So in mains, I don't have any proper preparation before prelims. I have some answer writing basics. I have some notes, but I'm not very much sure about mains. So I put my maximum effort. But in my first attempt in mains, I skipped a lot of questions. Around 10 questions I skipped without writing. So I'm not very much confident of clearing mains. But my answers were in good quality, it seems. I cleared the mains and attempted the interview. But in my first interview, I'm very much tensed because that's my first interview, and I prepared much, but the questions were from graduation, which I am not prepared very well. So that interview didn't went well. So I scored an average mark of 157. So I missed the final list by 20 mark. So April 5, 2019, the result came. I couldn't make into the list. So I'm very much depressed what I'm going to do, because only 2 months is there for giving the prelims again. But the beauty of this examination is that if you handle this pressure, if you handle this failure, you can definitely correct yourself and give the second attempt. So in my case, I'm very much depressed and I'm much worried what I'm going to do for 2 days. But my parents and friends were really motivated me that you have made into first attempt this much. So you can definitely do. We will be with you. Let give you a try. Let's see what will going to happen. With this confidence, I have given my second prelims on May 31st, 2019. So that question paper is slightly easier compared to 2018, but I'm not very much confident. So I'm in the borderline. I'm at while checking the answer key, I have an 98 to 100. So I'm not sure because that question paper is easier than 2018. So I thought that the cutoff will rise. But sir has said definitely you will clear. So whether I'm clearing or not, so I started to prepare for mains. So since in my I have the mains mark of first mains, so I checked for what are all the mistakes. So in my case, in the first mains, I scored 122 average mark in essay. In GS1, I scored 85. In that paper, I skipped in 5 questions. So my quality is good. If I completed the paper, I can easily score 100. I analyzed the mistake. And in GS2, I scored only 92. Since I'm from PSIR, I have to get good mark from this paper. So I analyze what are all the mistakes I have done. And in GS3, I have got 100 marks. And so I will, if I put more effort, I will definitely cross 110. So I found out the mistakes there. And in GS4, I scored only 90. So I want to improve my ethics mark. So I have to put more effort to cross 100. In this way, I analyzed each paper and I rectified those mistakes in second main so that I'm able to reach this much. In second interview also, I developed my personality very well. One thing I kept in mind is that whatever the questions they ask, I have to remain calm and I will always smile throughout the interview. This thing I followed and I think this worked out well. This interview was just very interesting and they covered lot of questions. So since mark is not out, I'm not very much sure which thing has boosted me in this. But one thing I am confidently say is that all the mistakes I have done in my first attempt, I rectified those things, even in mains and also in interview. So that much thing I made, so it reflected in my result, not making into the list in the first attempt to the rank 68, which is definite. But I didn't expected this rank, but it happened because I rectified all my mistakes. So this is my journey actually. So now I want to share my strategies and book list now. So first thing is that for any person who is going to travel the UPSC, have some basic qualities which is required. The first thing is that self-confidence, because so many persons around us will demotivate us and they even say you are not eligible or you are not worth for this. And if you even not clear the prelims, they will definitely make these statements. But you have to neglect this negative comments and you have to move forward. This is the thing needed, because I saw so many persons and so many friends in UPSC field, they have not even cleared the prelims in first 4 attempts, but they have secured good marks in 5th attempt. So you have that much patience, that much self-confidence to travel in this journey. And the second thing is that perseverance and commitment, which is very much required in this journey. So if you may travel till the interview, but in the next attempt you may not able to clear the prelims. So only if there is perseverance and commitment, you can able to rise again and travel this journey. So self-confidence, perseverance and commitment is very much important. So these things to happen, you have a certain goal in mind. So you came to civil service because it will provide you a lot of opportunity to serve the vulnerable section, and you able to see the change you want to see. So this goal has to be in your mind. If you feel demotivated, you remind yourself why you selected this journey. So I will tell my case. So before after failing first attempt, so many people said you completed graduation, you are wasting my parents' money. They said like this. But my parents are determined that you will able to do. So that gave me confidence that give one more attempt. So you have to able to neglect this negative comment and you have to travel. But after the result, everyone will come and praise you. So keep in mind that self-confidence is must, and while you are demotivated, remind yourself what will happen after you clear your exam. How much prize your parents will get and how much responsibility you will get at the young age. If we clear Group 4 exam, you will take at least 30-40 years to reach this much of responsible position. But clearing UPSC examination at the age of 20 plus, you will able to be in a position where you can create impact on the people of larger section. So keep in that mind and you can make this journey. And definitely this is not the end. So many people are there who traveled till the last attempt, but they couldn't make them. But you did, your life is not end with this examination. This travel itself will teach you lot of things. So this journey, you are learning so much of things that will helpful throughout your lifetime. In my case, I learned failure because in my school I'm a good student, and in my college also I'm a good student. But this examination taught me how to handle the failure and how to handle the pressure. So this journey itself is a beautiful thing. So after this, I want to break some myths. So for the first thing is that so many person will, after clearing this examination, so many new aspirants have asked me, you read for 20 hours or you read for 16 hours. I will simply say that duration is not matters here. How efficiently you utilize this time is matters. In my case, I properly used 8 to 10 hours daily. We are human beings. There are a lot of distraction and lot of emotions will be in your mind. In my case also, if I read for 6 days, I will feel demotivated on 7th day. So on that day, I will recreate me through watching a movie or reading. My hobby is reading books. So I read a book which will helpful in this journey itself. So I will watch the movie to get some relaxation. So it is in this cycle. So the cycle will go like this only. One day you feel very interested to read. On that day you read. One day you feel very low. On that day you take break. We are human beings. This will happen for everyone. So you have to compensate the wasted time on the next day. That's the thing you have to do. And many people will say this is the toughest examination. I say it is one of the examination. Anyone can crack the examination if you have self-confidence and motivation, and you have one hard-working person. Definitely you can do. If you able to sustain the pressure around you, you can able to definitely clear this examination. And the third thing many person will ask is that I'm not good in English. I am from rural background. I don't know English properly. I will say my English skill is not that much good. So this examination need basic understanding of English and writing only. Even in the interview, I speak like that only. They don't want us fluent English. So if you're able to convey your thoughts, that's enough. In even writing also, you don't want to use hard words like that. You can convey your thought with the simple words, that's enough. If you are a Tamil medium student, you can do the examination in Tamil itself. Interview also you can give in Tamil. So don't worry about that. And also the other thing is that they will say only urban student who are taking coaching able to clear this examination. That's not the thing. Only IIT students will clear this examination. These are all the myths. So many people from studying in a simple college also cleared this examination. So in UPSC examination, background never matters. They will judge only your personality. They will judge only your answer writing. So don't worry about all these myths. So next I'm going to my prelims main strategy and my book list. So the first thing is that for prelims and mains, this examination need an integrated approach. If you've seen the last prelims paper that happened on the Sunday, you get to know that many questions are in mains perspective. They have asked for advantages and they have asked for application. These kind of things we usually read for mains, but they are making the prelims paper tougher. So we have to complete both prelims and mains syllabus before giving prelims, so that it will be very helpful in easily cracking the prelims. So first you all have to complete the NCERTs from 6th to 12th standard. Importantly, those social science NCERTs. In 6th standard, you have to read Our Past One and Geography book. This is you have to definitely read. And in 7th standard, likewise, history and geography is very much important. Similarly, for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And in 11th, 12th, it's very vast. You have to cover entirely. So for 6th to 10th, you may have for basic understanding. From 11th and 12th, you have to make notes. So how to read NCERT? That's very much important. First, you have to go through the book simply. You have to read whether you able to understand what are all they trying to tell in the NCERT. You have to first read that. And the second thing you have to read it. Second thing you have to do is that analyze the previous year question paper, which is very much important, so that you can get an idea what to read and what are all the things you have to make as a notes. This thing you will get only if you see past year question papers. So how they ask, if there is a modern India, what are all the questions they have asked? And in mains, what kind of questions they are asked? What are the things they are expecting from us? These are all the things you can decode only if you see the previous year question papers. So after first you have to go through the NCERT. If you take Our Past One, you simply go through what are all they saying. After that, you check for previous year question. And then you come and then you can make notes. So this is the way you can efficiently make notes. Otherwise, what you will do is that you simply copy paste everything from the book. That's not needed. Notes is the one thing which should be crisp, and you have to use that for revision. If you are copying everything from the book, then what's the use of the notes? So notes should be the one thing which should be crisp, and you should use it for revision, and it should have everything that is expected for examination. In this way, you can make notes. So you have to complete these NCERTs. So now I will go for subject-wise thing. So for prelims perspective, for history, you have to complete all 6 to 12 NCERTs. In the case of 11th and 12th, you have to read old NCERTs plus new NCERTs. It is must, I feel, because now they are going deep into the history. So you have to complete this. That's not a big deal. So you have to complete this. And for geography, 6th to 10th NCERT plus all the 4 NCERTs of 11th and 12th standard. Fundamentals of physical geography, fundamentals of human geography, and then people and economy, and then India related geography book is there. So you have to read that, and you can add Cochin Liang if needed. I read Cochin Liang because it covered climatology thing very perfectly. So I read that. And then for polity, Lakshmikant is must. If you properly read that with understanding, you can definitely solve any question. This time polity is very easy. You can handle with Lakshmikant itself. And for political science related questions, they are asking some questions. Like this case, they asked for a limited government thing and Marx and Gandhian thing. If you are a PSIR student, you can easily handle that. And you can also read political theory. I think it's 11th NCERT. It's give basic understanding about rights and democracy. These kind of things it's easily covered. So you can cover political theory NCERT and then Lakshmikant book. It's well and enough for polity. And then for economy, you have to read NCERT, macroeconomic NCERT, and Indian economic development. I think it's 11th NCERT, I think. So these 2 NCERT you must cover. After that, Shankar Ganesh or Ramesh Singh. Both the books are good. Shankar Ganesh is very small, which is crisp for basic understanding. So it's good. For Ramesh Singh, you can go for some other concepts which are needed for mains. You can go for that. And then for environment, I followed Shankar IAS Academy environment book. And plus current affairs is most important for environment. Most questions are from current affairs and natural park and wildlife sanctuary related questions, which will be easily tackled if you are thorough with wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and you properly followed newspaper. You can definitely do that. And then for I think I cover arts and culture. For arts and culture, Introduction to Fine Arts. That book is very good, and you can supplement with Nitin Sinhania or CCRT website. I followed CCRT website. Apart from that, while reading ancient and medieval India, you properly covered arts and architecture part in NCRT itself. With that content, you can easily write answers till mains. So you don't worry about arts and culture. That's not a big thing. If you read NCRT properly, you can handle any kind of question. So these are all the basic book you have to thorough with so that you can handle any questions. So apart from that, what thing is needed for mains? So for mains, you have to be thorough with syllabus. First, you have print all GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 syllabus. You stick it on the wall. So you memorize each and every line so that you can able to link those things while reading on newspaper. While reading newspaper, if one news comes, for example, if there is contempt of court, where you can relate that, you can relate that with GS2 in judiciary part, and also with the fundamental right of freedom of speech. You can relate with these two things. This will be happen only if you are sure with each and every line of the syllabus. So for that thing, you have to memorize each and every line of the syllabus. So I will go for book list now for mains. So first GS1, world history. So world history, you don't need to read and too much, because they will anyway ask 1 or 2 questions. In some year, they not even ask any questions from world history. So you don't need to put lot of effort into that thing. So I read Story of Civilization in NCRT. There are 2 books of Story of Civilization in which only one thing cover the world history part, which is needed for mains examination. With this, you can solve previous year question paper. This will entirely, I think this is enough for world history. I tackled with this thing only. And the second part is freedom struggle. So we basically, sorry, I forgot to mention Spectrum for Modern India. So that's a factual part. You can supplement it with the Bipin Chandra, India's struggle for independence. These 2 books are enough for modern India. So with these 2 things, you can cover for mains also. You can able to solve any question asked with regard to mains, with regard to freedom struggle. So modern India for factual parts revision, and Bipin Chandra book, it's more than enough for tackling any kind of question asked in mains and prelims. Then for arts and culture, I already said, if you properly read NCRT, Introduction to Fine Arts, and each and every kingdoms or every dynasty's art and architecture part and literature part of all the lessons, you can definitely able to solve. Nothing more than that is needed. If you want, you can supplement with Nitin Sinhania or CCRT website. And then for geography part, as I earlier mentioned, if you properly understand the concepts of NCRTs, it's more than enough. Apart from that, you can supplement with GC Liam. So if you are struggling in understanding NCRTs, you can go through the website of PMF IAS. They have pictorial representation for each and every concept. So if I'm not clear with any concepts, I refer that. And apart, one thing excess in mains is that world resources and industrial thing. For that, Murnal website has a good content. So you can follow that website and you can make notes with them. And for society, I don't go for any specific books. It's entirely current affairs based. And there are so much repetition content like secularism, regionalism, globalization. They will repeatedly ask. So if you properly make notes for that thing, there is no much worry for that. So GS1 can be easily tackled because most of the parts are static. For society only, they will ask for any current affairs question. More than that, they will ask repeatedly regionalism, secularism, and vulnerable section. These kind of questions they will ask. If taken the case of example of globalization, you can make notes for what is globalization. What are all the impact of globalization on Indian culture? What are the globalization impact on women or family? These kind of notes you can easily make with referring websites or any institute material, you can definitely do. In the case of secularism, they definitely ask what is the difference between Indian secularism with Western secularism. These are the repeated questions and basic questions. You have to have a notes, so that if you have a notes, it will definitely save your time during answer writing. Those points will strike in your mind, so you can save time with making notes for these things. In history also, you can make introductions. For if there is a personality related question, you can definitely have introduction already, so you can use that. So for GS1, you have to make a proper notes and you have to revise. That thing is enough. So you can definitely get a good mark. So wherever possible in geography, you have to use map. If you follow this properly, you can definitely get a good mark in GS1. Then shifting to GS2. So if you are from PSIR, there is no need for separate preparation. You can use your knowledge there into GS2, because entire subject governance and IR is entirely covered from PSIR optional only. So those who are apart from PSIR, I will suggest you the books. Don't worry. So first, static related, that is polity related, Lakshmikant is enough. For more than 2 minutes, they are asking static questions. Last year, they have asked for Attorney General and one committee. Before that year, that is 2018 means, they have asked for Public Accounts Committee. So if you are read Lakshmikant, you can definitely attend 1 or 2 questions. So, and it is also very much needed. You have to use articles and committee recommendations to boost your marks in GS2. For that, Lakshmikant knowledge is very much important. Apart from that, you can follow PRS website, which is government website, where you can get knowledge about every bills passed, and they analyzed every bills with what are all the features, what are all the drawbacks in the bill, what are all the things needed, what are all the committee recommendation for those bill. These kind of things they have superbly analyzed, so you can use that website properly. Apart from that, you can use any institute material, and newspaper is very much needed because most of the questions are current affairs. So making notes from newspaper editorials is very much important. And for IR, apart from PSIR students, you can make this from newspapers only. They will ask the questions which are mostly in current affairs. Last year, there is more news about the Indo-Japan relation, so they have asked the question. There is news about UNESCO, US withdrawn from UNESCO, so there is a question related to UNESCO. So most of the IR questions for GS2 is definitely from current affairs. So if you properly follow newspaper, you are able to attempt that. If you are enrolled to a test series, then no issues. They will definitely cover those current affairs questions, which will, with that knowledge, you can be able to tackle IR in GS2. So GS2 is very easy paper. You can have to read Lakshmikant. You can follow newspaper and any institute material with that PRS website. With this, you can definitely do. So to get good marks, as I earlier mentioned, you have to use Supreme Court judgments and article and committee recommendation. With this, you can definitely get a good mark in GS2. And then I'm moving to GS3. GS3 is a wonderful paper. There is no need for reading any, no, there is not that much static portion. It is entirely current affairs based, as much as I have seen. So you have to read economic survey for economic for it. It has lot of data, you can use it, and you have to read union budget so that you can quote the schemes and some facts you can use from there. Apart from that, Yojana and Kurukshetra is a wonderful material you can use for GS3. For each and every agri topic or infrastructure or investment models or economy, there is a wonderful Yojana. If you put irrigation system, any Kurukshetra, there will be one edition of Kurukshetra for irrigation system. If you put livestock and search for and Kurukshetra, there will be definitely a Kurukshetra. So infrastructure and Yojana, there will 1 month Yojana. So you will take lot of stuffs from those books. You can easily prepare notes for that. Apart from that, what you are needed is what you have to done is reading the reports of Niti Aayog, 3 years action agenda, and New India at 75, that is strategy for India. That report you have to read. From that you can get lot of suggestion which you have to use in your answers. This will definitely boost your marks, and GS3 gives lot of scope to give facts which can be easily get from government data, like you while following PIB or in newspaper or economic survey, you get lot of facts and data which can be used in GS3. It will definitely boost your marks. And for internal security, it's mostly current affairs based, like left wing extremism. But you can have a notes by following any institute material is well and good. So you can follow. And then for environmental aspects, it's also a current affairs based. While properly following newspaper, you can definitely tackle. And for disaster management, NCRTs plus I followed a notes. I made a notes from National Disaster Management Authority website. Where they explained each and every disasters elegantly. So you can make notes from that. So GS3 you can easily do from these things. For mains, you have to make a notes. You have show your difference with your notes, so you can get a good mark. So properly make a notes for each and every line and revise again and again. Definitely everyone can get 100 plus in each GS paper. So these 3 GS are different, and ethics, which need unique approach for everyone. It's not a paper where you can mug up and write. This is the paper where you can show lot of difference, so that you can score a good marks. Many people can able to get 110 with little effort they put in this paper. For GS4 ethics, first what you have to need to do is basic understanding of each and every concepts. There are emotional intelligence, attitude, human values, and various type of ethics. So for this, you have to need basic understanding of what are all these things. For that, you can follow any books. Most people follow lexicon, but in market there are so many materials available. So you choose which one suits you. Then what you have to do is that you have to add the things which show your individuality. In my case, I collect examples from newspapers, some common examples, like if there is any civil servant who is introducing new things. I remember one thing, Nutri Garden. It's introduced in Manipur by one IAS. I quote that whenever, wherever is possible. And I collected a leaders example, how they are simple and how they are very integrated, and how they are serving selfless. These kind of example I have collected from newspapers and the things which I read from. So this will show your uniqueness and understanding. If you do this, this will boost your mark. And for GS4, case study. Part A will be these kind of conceptual questions, and part B will be case study. Case study will be easily handled if you properly understand those concepts. In case study, they will give one situation and they will ask you to analyze what are all the ways available to tackle this issue. Among these ways, which way you will select and what is the reason. So if you want to give the reason, you have to justify why you taken this. So there are a lot of justification you can give. One case, for a good end, there should be a good mean. This kind of justification you have to give. Or like talisman of Gandhiji. If I do this work, it will help even a vulnerable section of people in the society. So these kind of justification you have to give. For that, you have to properly understand each and every concept of part A. So if you do this, you can definitely do GS4 and you can get a good mark. So in all the all GS papers, you have to make your notes. You have to revise again and again. Then only you can crack. So if you want to do all this thing, there is a need for practice. That is answer writing and test series. So those are newcomers. You are not able to write answer from the first day itself. To write the answer, you have to know some content or basics about that topic. So you first complete NCERTs and read newspaper for 1 or 2 months. Then you can have a basic understanding about everything. Then you try to write answers. Everyone should try to write at least one answer every day, so that you can get about proper understanding how to structure the answer, and you get to know, or you can limit your timing to write the answer. Timing is very much important. Without that, we are not able to complete the answers within that time. So practice is must. So if you have given this prelims and you are clearing or not, that's not the matter. You have to prepare for mains, you have to enroll into test series, or you write yourself daily at least 1 or 2 questions. That is very much needed. So what is I'm saying is that get used to this subjects and you start after 1 or 2 months. Because answer writing will be helpful, because mains mark will decide whether you are into the list or not. If you score good mark, you will get your required service. So please practice answer writing. Then the next thing is that newspaper is very much important, because many questions will be reflected from newspaper. And for mains answer writing and mains questions, mostly it's based on newspaper. So you have to follow one newspaper properly. I followed Hindu and some parts of Indian Express. Like in Indian Express, explained, there is one section called explained section, which covers a topic properly from A to Z. So that thing is very much useful for UPSC preparation. So you can follow that. Apart from that, you can make your own notes or follow any institute material properly. That is regularly you have to follow. Without newspaper, reading only institute material is not sufficient. You have to read newspaper and you have to supplement that with any institute current affairs. If you do this, you can definitely tackle. For that, daily read newspaper with 1 to 2 hours and make notes whichever wanted for you. After that, read some institute current affairs daily, and at the weekend you have to revise those things. In that way, you able to remember. Otherwise, you easily forget those things. And accumulating every month current affairs till the prelims will not be helpful. You have to revise weekly, you have to revise monthly. Then only you are able to remember all the content. So in this examination, one more important aspect is that scheduling your time. That's very much needed. You should have a monthly plan and you should have a daily plan, so that you can you can complete all the portions properly within time. So these are all the things I want to convey. So if you have any doubt, please post. I will try to answer those things. After that, I will go for PSIR related things. Okay. So how to cope up with the distractions? So as I earlier mentioned, as we are humans, there will definitely be a distraction. So if you are clear in your goals that I'm going to make this, so I'm devoting this time. So if you are clear in this, you can definitely do. And this is the time where our friends are in job and they are spending and they are enjoying their weekend, but we are in studying. That is, we choose this field. So we have to do our justification. Otherwise, if you waste your time, you are only going to suffer at the end. So keep in your mind why you choose this journey, and you have to be clear that within 2 to 3 years, I have to clear this examination. So if these are in mind, you can definitely tackle distraction. So many people will say disable your social media accounts. So I don't think that's that much of thing is needed. If you are able to know your limits, you can handle everything easily. That's in your mind only, I feel. So the next part, okay, I forgot to tell about essay part. So essay is the thing where you can show a lot of difference, like ethics. You have to show difference and you can get a good marks. From 90 to 150, these much variation will be there. You can get 50 marks above from your competitor with essay. So essay doesn't need any separate preparation. If you are from PSIR optional, then there is no need for preparation, I will assure you, because PSIR is one optional that will cover each and every aspect: history, society, politics, IR, thinkers. So you will definitely tackle even philosophical essay with PSIR. So for other students, if you are reading GS properly and newspaper properly, you can do that. But something which is more needed for essay, what are all those things, is that quotes. You have to collect quotes. Some topics are we can sure they will ask in that year because it will repeatedly in news, like education, health, women related questions are repeatedly asked. So you have to prepare for these things. Some education related quotes by famous personality, like Malala Yousafzai. That quotes you can use in education or women empowerment. And you can collect any real examples, like real stories. These you can give an introduction. So these kind of little effort is needed for essay, but it reflect as a more marks in a result. So with little effort, you can earn a lot. So collect quotes and facts and data and supplement with the GS knowledge, you can definitely get a good mark. Some people may struggle with a proper flow, or they find it difficult to write essay of 10 pages. So those kind of students will definitely need practice of writing the essay. If you are good in writing, then no special preparation is needed for essay. So how should we make crisp notes for mains? So as I earlierly said, if you analyze the previous year question paper, you get to know the demand of the examination. If you are know the demand of the examination, you can make a crisp note. If I will give an example. So say again contempt of the court, because it's frequently in news for these days. So if I make a notes for contempt of the court, I will first write what is the definitions of contempt of court, and then any constitutional article or any law is related to that, I write as the second thing. And the third thing I will do is the need for contempt of court. I will put a flow chart like this, arrow flow charts, and write what are all the need for contempt of court. And the next thing I will do is that it is needed in a democratic country, so it is suppressing the freedom of speech, or it keep the judiciary beyond criticism. These kind of negative aspects I write. And if there is any committee recommendation, so I will write it as a conclusion. So this committee has recommended to scrap contempt of court because of this thing. So it is need of the hour to examine the need of contempt of court. These kind of things I will collect. So which institute current affairs material I followed, you are asking. So in my first attempt, I followed my own notes because I have lot of time. I'm going for class and report. So I made my own notes. So I didn't suggest that this material will be, in my case, I choose which is suitable for me. So I don't say this institute is best, you have to follow that. I won't say. Whichever is suitable for you, you follow. So one person is asking, do we really need external coaching? So it's depend upon your personality. In my case, there is no one to guide me in my close circle or in my family. So if I went for an self-preparation, it will take me a lot of time because I myself can't able to decode, or there is no direction for me. So I need an external coaching, and my family also said we will financially support you. So these factors came in when you decide for coaching. It's your self call only. If your family support you financially and you need a proper guidance, you have to take an institute coaching. Otherwise, you can do. Nowadays, there are a lot of online initiatives. So it's up to you to decide. So mock interview. So regarding interview, definitely mock interview is needed because I'm I have low confidence about my English, so I definitely take a mock interview to get feedback so that I can improve myself. So I took a mock interview. So one person is asking how many hours to study minimum a day. It also depends upon a personality. So if one going for a job and preparing for this exam simultaneously, he cannot able to devote 8 to 10 hours. He can manage with 4 hours. He have to study those 4 hours properly. So if you are entirely preparing for this examination, you have to do at least 8 to 10 hours, because if you are going for your job, then you have to work there for at least 8 hours. Similarly, you have to read at least 8 hours. That's the thing you have to do. When we study exclusively for prelims during last 3 to 4 months, how should we proceed that time? Do we need to take short notes for prelims? So one person is asking this question. So as I said, your preparation should be integrated. If you are starting from now means October. If you are starting from October till March, you can go for integrated approach, like you are collecting notes for mains and prelims, and you are revising your optional, and you are writing answer writing practice. You can do till March. After March, you have to dedicate your entire timing for prelims, because day by day the difficulty of prelims paper is increasing, and even CSAT is made very much tough. Many people fail to clear CSAT this time, so there is need for special focus on prelims. In that case, what you can do is that you can revise those notes you have made in prelims perspective, like stressing more on factual content rather than mains related analysis part. You can stress more on factual part, and you have to solve test. You have to develop your strategy in this 2 months. If the question paper is tough, how many questions I'm going to attempt? If question paper is easy, how many questions I'm going to attempt? Like this strategy, and you have to develop your strategy to reduce negatives. If there is lot of negatives, you can definitely not going to clear the prelims. So you have to devote these 2 months to develop your strategy and revision again and again. You can do. Thus, that 2 months is entirely you have to devote for prelims, and do not neglect CSAT. You have to solve at least 4 5 years CSAT previous year question paper, but you have to spend more time, I feel, because this time CSAT is very much tough according to my friends. So you have to devote some time for CSAT also. Then for science and tech, if you decoded last 2 years, they focused mostly on technologies which are evolving now, and also biological than biotechnology related questions. So you have to properly follow newspaper, and you have to read biology NCRTs. I will recommend this for science and tech. So next question is that how does the cadre allocation work based on rank? These things we give preference, and there is some cadre allocation policy. They will do with that. We only able to give preference with that rank they will allocate. So the next question is, how do you interpret the question paper? Will it be spontaneous decision or planned structure? So if they give you question paper, first you have to read all the entire 100 questions in the prelims. Even if a mains, you have to read the entire 20 questions. Then if you can easily judge if you are a well prepared person and you well prepared for everything. You can definitely judge. In my first attempt, 2018 is my first attempt. While seeing the question paper, I am not able to cross a 20 show short question. There is only 20 show short question. I know very well that I prepared the entire 1 year for the examination. If I myself not able to get more than 20 questions, then definitely the question paper is tough. So I planned to reduce my number of questions. So I attempted only 65 to 67 questions, because so that I can reduce my negatives. So with this way, you can simply come to conclusion whether question paper is easy or tough. So you are asking to share my notes. There is CSE Wiki, which is one place where every topper share their strategy and notes, CSE Wiki, where you can get all toppers notes. So one person optional I will come later. Then how to cover cannot neglect reading editorials. Reading editorials have lot of benefits. The first thing is that it make you to read a long content and you can interpret from that, which is very much needed for this examination because you are going to read lot of books. So if you develop this capacity from editorials, it will be helpful in long run. And in CSAT, every year they are increasing the toughness of the comprehension. Once you able to comprehend the content from the editorial, this knowledge will be helpful in CSAT also. So, and the third thing is that many editorials will be helpful in getting perspectives for many issues which you can easily use in mains answers. So these are all the things the editorial will be helpful. So don't avoid editorials. Some may prefer watching videos rather than reading the editorials. I don't advise so. You sit and you read the editorials. It will be difficult for first 3 months, I will assure you. Some might from Tamil medium, they find it even more difficult. But you have to do that. If you continue any habit for 90 days, you will use to do that. After 90 days, definitely you yourself interested in reading the editorials. So continue for 3 months, then you will be used to do it. Any other question, or otherwise I move into PSIR option. So I'm moving to PSIR now. So as I earlier said, PSIR is one of the very good options which is very scoring and which doesn't need any prior knowledge to get into that. If you choose maths optional, you will definitely be in touch with maths from school. But for PSIR optional, it's not the case. If you done science related UG, then also you can easily complete this. If you are from arts background, it's very easy to get into this. So PSIR is one of the beautiful thing because it's very much dynamic. So you keep yourself updated, you read new things. So it is very much interest to study for a long journey. So first I will share my book list. So PSIR paper 1. It is the one thing where if you put effort, it will be reflected in your marks. Because part A has lot of thinkers and lot of concepts. So if you read 3 books and make proper notes and make proper revision, it will definitely convert it into marks. So in my case, I followed in this. First, I will mention that sir will cover each and every topic. He will not leave even a single word in the syllabus part. He will teach everything. From there itself, you can understand what are all the things in PSIR. And the second thing he will do is that he will give a dictated notes in class, which is very much helpful. I till now followed those things, which is very much helpful for me and easy understanding for me. So apart from that, I'm saying these 2 things sir will do for you. Apart from that, what you have to do is that you can supplement more with, I followed for Western political thoughts, I followed O.P. Gauba. And for political theory, introduction to political theory, O.P. Gauba. And for Indian political thought, I follow IGNOU material. If you properly attend sir class, if you have notes of the sir, plus following these 3 books is more than sufficient. After that, you have to practice with previous year questions. Since it is very much static part, many questions are repeated from previous years. So if you very much prepared and you have proper introduction, proper conclusion, proper notes. How to make a notes for this part is that if you are making Plato, notes for a Plato, you have to write what are his books, what are all the quotes you have to use from his thing, and what are all other concepts we read about them. If you have a 1-page notes for Plato, likewise you make for Aristotle, likewise Machiavelli, And then for every thinkers and every concepts, if you do crisp notes within 10 to 20 page, you have to complete part A. So if you do that and properly practice answer writing, there is nothing to prevent you from getting a good marks. And then for paper 1 part B, it's mostly related to polity and current affairs and governance. This thing you can get a good mark if you properly follow newspaper and you have collected some scholars' views and basic understanding about governance aspects of India. Apart from that, if needed, you can go for FL Fadia. Otherwise, it's not needed because it's mostly dynamic and following Sir's notes and Sir's test series. In test series, Sir will cover many questions related to each and every topic. It's very much helpful, and he also give you answer keys for those questions. If you properly follow this, you can definitely tackle this. Many questions will directly reflect from the test series itself. So reading FL Fadia is optional. Otherwise, notes, mains test series and mains test series answer keys and newspaper. In newspaper, there are certain editors or scholars. You have to use them and you have to quote their views. So you can definitely get a good mark in that. For example, Pratap Banu Mehta and Christopher Jafferlad. These persons write in Indian Express and Hindu. So you can get from there. Then I'm here also, answer writing is very much important. If possible, you can relate the thinkers from part A to this section. If you make interlinking, definitely you can score 150 plus in this paper. Within part A also, you can interlink between Indian thinkers and Western thinkers. If you do that, it shows your understanding. And you can also add any, if you are reading right, concept of right or concept of human right or concept of democracy, if you add any current thinkers, it will show your uniqueness and it will definitely reflect into a good mark. So part A and part B of paper 1, you can put a little effort, but you can definitely get 150 plus if you properly have a note, properly understood the concept, and properly made an answer writing practice. If 3 is done, no one or nothing will prevent you from 150 plus. And now I'm moving to paper 2. Paper 2, apart from some concepts, entirely it's current affairs based. Those who are interested in IR and those who are interested in dynamic aspects, they can definitely take PSIR. It gives you a scope for a lot of things. So for I'm going to list now books for paper 2. The first thing is that there is comparative politics. For that, Sir's notes is very much helpful, and I don't find any one specific book for that. IGNOU material you can supplement with the Sir's notes. Otherwise, answer writing practice with mains test series and previous year question is enough. And second book is that globalization of world politics or global politics. Both books are good. You can follow any one book. That covered every aspects of IR like realism, liberalism, and many concepts of IR like national interest, security, collective security. These kind of theoretical aspects of international relation is very well cleared in these 2 books. You can follow any one of them. Both are same only in most of the contents. Globalization of world politics or global politics. Anything you can follow. Anyway, Sir is going to give the notes. You can supplement that with these books if you need it. Then for IR, you can go for any books by Does Elephant Dance or Raju Sikri's book. Anything you can do. But I didn't go for any book. I only managed with newspapers and scholars' views. For scholars' views, you can get from Hindu or Indian Express. Otherwise, the best source is Observer Research Foundation website, where in international section, many scholars have wrote many articles related to international relation, which is one place you can get a good source or good thing for international relation. Then Sir's test series plus his notes for answer keys for those questions very much helpful me for this time, because he covered everything in the test series. So I properly covered those things with my notes. So PSIR is one such good optional which is very interesting to read. With Sir's test series and notes and his answer key, you can definitely score 270 plus. Apart from that, you have to put little efforts. So if you want to do this, you have to properly have a notes. For thinker section, you need memorization, and also for scholars views, you have to read memorization. This thing will happen if you make a notes and you revise twice a week or once in a week. You have to revise those things. Then only it will be in your mind. Then only you can use it in the answer writing. The one thing in optional is that you don't have a time to complete in the examination. For that, answer writing practice is very much important. You have to practice again and again so that you can able to complete 250 mark in both the papers in the examination hall. So mains test series for optional is very much important. So any other doubts you can ask me. No, I don't have any blog, but till now I wrote my PSIR strategy and essay strategy in CSE Wiki. Now only I'm converting my notes as a PDF. I will upload that within a week and write my entire strategy. So one person is having question: how you made basic understanding for IR part, relating 3 or 4 countries at time collapse. So basic understanding, as I said, if you read Sir notes plus any one of the book, you get to know that what are all the concepts in IR. As I said, liberalism, realism. I don't know, you attended the classes, you know these concepts. So in if there is a country, it fights for its national interest. It fights for its national security. So these kind of static thing you covered, you will get to understand why US is doing like this. So you to keep in mind those factual thing, revision is needed. If you read again and again, you can remember those things. So revision strategy is that if you read for a week one thing, you have to revise this in Sunday, and at the month end you devote one day for revising all these things. So this is the revision strategy. For PSIR, if you make notes, you have to revise those 20 pages. It will take hardly 2 hours or 3 hours. You can spend definitely. So for PSIR, revision is must, so that you can remember all the quotes and all the scholars' name and country related aspects. If there is Indo-Japan, you have to know what are all the strengths between us, what are all the irritants between us. So these kind of things you can remember only if you revise again and again. So for that, you have to have a crisp notes, so you can revise again and again, then you can remember. So online website for IR, I followed Observer Research Foundation, ORF website. How long did you prepare for optional and when to start answer writing for optional? So I will tell my story here. So while I started in 2017, I joined class, I attended Sir's class and I have Sir's notes. Apart from that, I don't have any self notes for me. I attended test with this course. So within 2018 January, I completely read the optional once and I have attempted test, but I don't say I give my perfect. So I simply attended. After prelims only, I made my self notes. I revised again and again. I started to see the previous year question paper. This is the mistake I made. But in second attempt, for second attempt, I continuously read. I continuously in touch with optional. So what you can do is before prelims itself, you be thorough with your optionals and write answer writing with previous year questions. You can do that. It's very much easy only. So I will share my mail ID if you have doubt, because so many people are asking. I will reply as soon as possible. So any other questions? PSIR optional can be completed in 5 to 6 months with proper understanding. So it doesn't take much time because most of the things we know already. Only thinkers part and some concepts in paper 2 needs some time. Otherwise, we can complete in 4 to 5 months. Any other questions? Okay. So after prelims, how to manage time between GS, SE and optional? One person is asking. So optional plays very important role because it's for 500 marks. You can, if you spend efficiently, you can definitely get 300 plus because there will be so much of repeated questions. So I will say you must spend at least 50% of the time or 40, mostly 50% of the time for optional preparation. I will bet you because it will definitely helpful. And in the case of PSIR, it will reduce your time for, there is no need for excess time for GS2. So spend at least 40% of your time for optional, and essay doesn't need any separate preparation. If you sit for 1 week, you can collect code for most of the thing and most of the facts you can collect within 1 week. So essay doesn't need a separate preparation. So spend 50% of the time for optional and remaining time for GS, reading newspapers and answer writing. Any other question? Any other questions you can ask?
Yeah. Okay, Priyanka, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I think all the doubts have been cleared. So I hope so. You gave me 1 hour time, and you've gone beyond your time. So that's so kind of you. Students, do you have any doubt?
PSIR, paper 1, you are asking for reference book. Western Political Thoughts, O.P. Gowwa. Introduction to Political Theory, O.P. Gowwa, and IGNOU for Indian Political Thoughts. Sir will list out the books. From that you can choose. These are the books which suits me, so I choose that.
Okay. So thank you, Priyanka, for your valuable time. So I wish you a bright career. And students, so Priyanka is going to join the foundation course FC by 12th of this month. We all wish her a bright career and an outstanding officer. The country is very much in need of you, Priyanka, right? So come serve the nation, right? Make us proud. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity, sir.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Right, thank you, Priyanka. So Priyanka, I'll call you. I'll come to you. Yeah, students. So we are going to close the session. So if at all any doubts, right? So you can contact us through our mail ID, or you can contact through our WhatsApp number, right? So you know our WhatsApp number or the mail ID, or you can contact through a Telegram, right? Okay. So thank you. So thank you for watching the session. Thank you.